Hello. Can you speak louder? I can't hear very well. Hello. Hello. The purpose of my visit here is to show how you're being held captive to all the countries of the world and all international organizations, thus inducing our prisoners of war to be treated in accordance with all Geneva Conventions. Do you think we can do this with you? What do you think? I don't know. Do you voluntarily consent to record the video and publish it? For further publication on the internet so that your relatives and all the international organizations can see you, how you are here. Depending on what questions are asked. It's not an interrogation, it's just questions about the content, how you got here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. Okay, I hear you. Let's start in order, shall we? Would you like to do that? Where did you get in? You signed a contract, you came in, said you wanted to go kill. Where did you go? What troops? Which unit? Well, I signed a contract and was sent to a motorized rifles regiment. It turns out, 114th Brigade, Unit Storm. It was the Unit Storm. Storm, yes. So it's a newly formed unit, which they didn't have before. There's no... I guess I can't really say. I've only been on the front lines. I was only on the front lines one day. Yeah, I understand. Where were you sent from? Tiumen first? To training school, I guess? The Polygon, yes. I was sent from the Polygon to the Donetsk region. Why do you mobilize in Russia, but conduct training in Ukraine? Why does that happen? I don't know. So we were brought to the training ground, we were placed 2 weeks later, and we were sent here. That's what happened. Have you ever thought about the fact that they sent you all to Donetsk, Lugansk region, Zaporozhye region for training for one simple reason, so that you would not be homesick, so that you would not be able to see your relatives normally, so that they would come to visit you and thus make you angry? We were supposedly told that we were being taken to a military unit, but in the end, it turned out that we arrived at a firing range. Nobody knew where we were going. So you've got a unit with no flag, no PPD, and this is the Second Army of the world? Or is it not? Or is it not the Second Army of the world? I don't know which one we have in there. I guess is the second one or what? I don't know. Well, they shout from every mouthpiece that it's the Second Army of the world. But we're looking here, well, you see who you came here with. Do you think if everything was so good in the army, they'd even take convicts? Do you think that's how they would do it? Would they be taking convicts? Well, every army has problems. I'm not denying it. It's just... not in any army, I guess. There's just a thing that... How to explain? Well... I just did not expect such a thing, honestly, that I would get without a military unit straight to the firing range, after the firing range straight to the front line. For a man who didn't serve in the army, it's a very short period, 2 weeks at the firing range. It's a very short period. Look, about there are problems in any army, what I mean is that in NATO armies, people with a criminal record will not be attracted at all, and elderly people alike. It's like there's some kind of selection process. We're not NATO, right? Well, you want to go to war with NATO, don't you? Do we? Well, Russia screams who it's fighting. There's no Ukrainian army there for a long time. I, even sitting in Russia, heard, not on the radio, not on TV. You didn't know that you're with Ukrainian fighters? Or did you realize? Did you realize this? I didn't hear that we're at war with NATO. What I heard is that we're not at war with NATO, so that Ukraine does not join NATO. That's what I heard. Now Ukraine wants to join NATO. Before there was no such need. We gave you our nuclear weapons. You know how it is? We had a great potential for nuclear weapons, the third in the world. We gave it to Russia because Russia signed a document that Russia will protect us. I don't know this. I don't know the history. The Budapest Memorandum was signed by 3 countries. America and England asked us to give our weapons, and we gave them to Russia. Do you think that if we gave nuclear weapons to Russia, who should have protected us from aggression in the first place? Don't you think so? I don't think Russia would have turned its back on you in the future. Yeah, we've already seen Russia turn around or not turn around. It didn't turn around. And well, my father was killed almost at home, near the church with the soldiers. The man was retired for a long time, nursing his grandchildren. They killed my friends who were famous sportsmen, their classmates. Did it turn around, or did it turn back? Or was it a sneak attack? Did you know that no one even declared war? They attacked at night in the border areas, and they just started bombing us. Then the troops came in. Then Putin just announced that we were conducting some kind of nobody knew. We didn't know. We just found out exactly, what was the 22nd, I think, right? The 24th. And the 24th. This morning we just found out that I'm announcing so-and-so. What did he announce? A special military operation, as I recall. And what does that mean, special military operation? Denationalization. Denationalization, I can't fucking remember. Can't remember exactly. Decommunicationization, maybe? No. Destabilization? No, I don't remember. I don't exactly remember. Denazification? Yes, I think so. Denazification? Didn't you see Yakubovich on this program? When they spin the wheel? No, thank God. He was like this. I honestly don't remember that. Okay, what does denazification mean? I don't know. In your mind, what do you think? Let's try like in school. What do you think denazification means? There's nation. De means take away, move away, depart from the nation, or what? What? Like depart from the nation or what? What does it mean? I don't know. What about demilitarization that Putin announced? What did he mean by that? It meant to smash our army and have no army. It's probably about armaments. No, well, it meant killing all the military. Armament, burn down all the warehouses and make us without... I never thought we'd be at war with Ukraine. We've been brotherly all our lives. Well, you're no longer a brotherly nation and never will be. And if you know the history, we were constantly being shipped off to Siberia or somewhere else. They forbade us to speak our Ukrainian language, even. I don't know. They burned our books. They banned any manifestation of Ukrainian conscience at all. How do you say that in Russian? How do you say it in Russian? Tell me. I don't know. Well, then this will be homework. Do you realize that the slogans that Putin said on February 24 were exactly the same as those of Hitler? They also carried out denazification, demilitarization, and saved the German-speaking population of Poland, Czechoslovakia, Austria, and then it went on, and then it went on, and on, and on. He didn't stop at the Czech Republic, he didn't stop at Poland, he went to Ukraine, he went to Russia. You know you won't go against your country anyway, right? Just like you won't go against your country. I was born there, I grew up there. So what's against your country? Look, we don't go against our country. We can go against the president if we don't like him. Yanukovych, who had been in jail twice, didn't suit us. We went against him. He was thrown out, but for some reason, Russia wanted us to have a criminal president. Do you understand? Everybody seemed to care about Yanukovych. Well, you have him in Russia now. Why don't you make him prime minister or something? Because you don't give a shit. I'm not a politician. I don't know. So look, what does it mean that you won't go against your country and I won't go against my country, but here you can go against a regime, against any president? You can't do that. Didn't you learn that in high school? It's called a dictatorship, a totalitarian regime. No, they didn't teach that. All right then. How do you feel about Azov? About who? Azov. Azov? Azov, yes. Who's that? Oh, I see. Well, from what I hear, it's a terrorist organization in Russia, and so what can I say about him? What can I say about him? There's a terrorist organization in Russia? It's like they say on TV. There's a terrorist organization in Russia? Azov? Is Azov a terrorist organization in Russia? Allegedly, yes. They've entered Russian territory and they're walking around doing something? I don't know, I'm just saying what I heard, but I can't tell you that. So maybe they did those bombings in Beslan? I haven't heard. Nordost? I haven't heard. Ryazan Sugar? Gave Alaska to America? I don't know, honestly. I understand you, okay. What can I say about Azov? I don't know anything about it. I just don't know. You know they changed it for Putin's cousin? 55 men. They don't change ordinary soldiers to Azov. They don't change ordinary Russian soldiers to Azov. Putin calls them some kind of fascist terrorists. Moreover, these guys were defending their homes, their families, and none of them went to Russia. Well, no one with weapons. I don't know. Maybe someone was there once as a child. But no one, not a single family from Azov suffered. Why do you think they, Marines, Azov, Chernobyl guards who have been held captive for 3 years, why are they being tortured there? And why do they accuse them of fascism and hang life sentences on them? Do you think it's even possible for a man who fulfilled his duty to his country, to his family, who stood behind him, who defended their home, to be tried in a foreign country, to give life sentences and to extract testimony under torture? Under sheer torture? Do you think that's fair? I said I haven't heard anything about them. Well, don't you feel sorry for a family where just yesterday a father was nursing his daughter and then the war came and he took an automatic rifle and went to defend his home because his daughter, mother, wife had to leave? Well, war is such a terrifying thing. You feel sorry for all people. All people. I can't believe you feel sorry for anyone. Feel sorry for all people, and yet we're coming to kill you? How not? Everyone's a human. Everyone has a feeling. You don't feel sorry for people? Would you say that if you're in Donetsk region among your fighters, would you tell them that you feel sorry for Ukrainians? Would you say that you don't want to shoot? You wouldn't fight? What would it mean for you? What would it be? If you said, I feel sorry for them, I don't want to kill Ukrainians, they have children there, families, it's their land. It's a pity, war is war. There are casualties, there are. People will die in any war, either on one side or the other, or on both sides. It's war. It's war. You know, the way you're talking right now, it's also dry and emotionless. And it's all for one simple reason, and that's because you're not being tortured here. If you were tortured, as they do in Russia, you would be singing such dithyrambs to the Ukrainian people here. I don't know. And you should tell them that you have Ukrainian roots there and stuff like that. They just treat you humanely. They just treat you like that. Honestly, I haven't heard that. I've heard that in Russia they treat them humanely as here. Well, you've heard. I mean, the same food, the same. Where did you hear that? Who told you? Was someone there among your own prisoners? No. Then who told you? A Russian prisoner of war among mine? No. Then who did you hear it from? Well, people still talk in Russia. Why do they draw such conclusions? Maybe you heard somewhere, maybe someone said, maybe somehow, well... Ours also, it turns out, feed, and dress. Shoe them. And Ukrainians cut balls, blow foam up your ass. No, I'm just going on. There's nothing like that either. Did you hear we're cutting eggs here? Cutting off scrotums? There's foam, by the way, you see from the pipes. We're slowly pulling it out and pushing it in. No, with a pipe, like in the video they showed you in the prison. Use a pipe like that to shove the foam up your ass. Do you think you'd confess to all your grave sins? that you raped Annette's grandmothers as well, if such torture as we showed on the video yesterday was used on you, would you be able to bear it and not confess to what the FSB is asking you to do? Would you be able to do that? I don't know. Think again. I don't know. Alright, let's speak the language of argument. I have photos, videos of our guys coming back from captivity. I sat with him personally. Here's me before I was captured. And now here's me after I was captured. What they broke, what they pulled out of my teeth, my fingernails. What do you think they wanted to pin on me? Why would they do that? Do you have any holes in your feet? Would you like to have holes like that? Would you like that? Let's move on. But I want to warn you right away that these people all had and have families, taught in schools, were scientists, doctors, teachers, all sorts of professionals. In other words, they were the best representatives of our nation who could raise their children and further develop the Ukrainian population, raise, give birth, and so on. And from your side, as not a convict, so a half-convict, an alcoholic or a drug addict, where are your elite paratroopers, Marines? Are they hiding behind you? It turns out that they're holding you in front, and from behind your back they're throwing missiles at us like this. Our own missiles that we gave you. Our own missiles that Yulia Tymoshenko gave you, which were given by Kushma and Kravchuk, and everyone there was slowly unloading Ukraine. Do you believe what I showed you, or do you think I'm lying to you? You've been showing off. Maybe I'm lying. I'm Ukrainian. We're all liars here. We all lie, and only you have only Simonyan and Kiselev. Do you trust these propagandists? Do you trust those who appear on television? Who else can you trust? Your eyes? They're watching it on TV. It's on TV too. Well, is there no gray matter? No gray matter? No critical thinking? When you can analyze and say, something doesn't add up here. Something is false. Why are they doing all this? Don't we have enough land at home? Or why do we need another country? Why is that? I don't think it's all about keeping Ukraine from coming to the West, keeping NATO from coming to Russia's borders. That's what it's about. Well, you realize that this is such nonsense. You have NATO around at all. And when has NATO ever attacked Russia? Has there ever been one? No. How can NATO attack Russia? You have so many nuclear weapons. It's the end of the world. If NATO uses nuclear weapons, if you use your nuclear weapons, so it's the end of the world anyway. No one will survive. What is the point of NATO attacking Russia? Especially since now nuclear weapons are stored in one country. And then it's not clear what will happen. Will there be life on this earth at all? What they don't know, I don't know. Didn't you think that Putin is just getting tired, and he wants to feel like Peter the Great in his old age? The man doesn't give you a choice. He has been ruling for 30 years. 2 grandfathers, Lukashenko and Putin. Now go ahead, name me Putin's wife. I don't know. But there is? No? I don't know. Does Lukashenko have any? I don't know. But they see each other a lot. They must be friends, right? I guess if they meet up, maybe they're friends. Have you ever thought that Lukashenko and Putin have an intimate relationship? That they actually have gay pride parades there, not in Ukraine. So our president has a wife. All our presidents had wives. Yours have neither Belarusian nor Russian wives. Russian. What's the correct way to say it? Russian? I guess not. Next, judging by your singers such as Kirkorov, Vaskov, this Blue Moon, well, that's singers. Well, it's propagandized. That is, it's allowed on TV for you to perform, and you're not embarrassed by it. But gays in Europe and other countries interfere with you. They're the ones interfering. Are Baskov, Kirikov gay? Name me Baskov's wife. Huh? Name me Baskov's wife. I don't know. And Kirikov's wife. I'm not into it. I listen to other singers. Well, isn't that obvious? You see, under the ages under which you come here, it's all here. Simonyan went out on Moscow Street, looked to the left. Kirikov and Baskov are walking. Look to the right. Lukashenko and Putin are hugging something all the time. They don't understand any traditional values like family, children, They don't understand because they don't have children. They don't have wives. They simply don't have them. Well, they're busy with the state. They don't have time to have a family, right? Well, we have Zelensky ruling the state, still defending the country, still survived the COVID, and he has a wife. Biden has a wife. The wife of Kim Jong-un, the president of North Korea? I don't know. The president of China? I don't know. I don't know our country. How can I know other countries? Amazing, actually. So where are the gays running the country? Why is that? So if they don't have wives, they're not gay, but we do and we're gay, and we have wives and kids. So if a man doesn't have a wife, he's gay? Well, I think by the time you're 76, you could have found one, right? We don't know. Maybe he has a wife. I don't know. Maybe he has a wife. Maybe he doesn't. Well, if there was, why wouldn't he show his wife? There's a president, right? There's the first man in the country. There's the first lady of the country. Maybe he doesn't want to show it. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. You don't know. You're not interested at all? Anyway, we've dealt with that. As a rule, in countries with totalitarian regimes, they have some kind of fetish. They're meeting someone, they're talking to someone, they're playing around. Oh man, it's his job to meet someone, talk to someone, right? So what if it's the president's job? It doesn't stop him from having kids and a wife. I don't know. Maybe he has a wife. He had a wife, but she left him a long time ago and he never had another wife. I don't know that. Here too, you haven't sorted out your own president yet, and you're already meddling in another country. You're worried about gays, NATO. Do you know that Russia wanted to be in NATO? Russia and NATO? It asked for it more than once. It did. Why didn't they take it? I don't know. Do you think all these people with broken noses, drug addicts, alcoholics, do they even fit NATO standards? Does the Russian army fit NATO standards? With its broken, old, barely painted tanks? Do they fit that standard? That's why they didn't. Putin has taken offense at the world, but he can't compete with NATO. I don't even think you with a 9th grade education understands that he can't. So he started attacking Georgia, then he started a conflict in Karabakh, then he quarreled with Armenians. Georgia? Yeah, you didn't know? In 2008 and before that, there were 2 attacks on Georgia. You don't know about Ossetia? You don't know about South Ossetia? I haven't heard. How have you not heard all this? Alright, you went into Afghanistan? Afghanistan, yes. And what was wrong with Afghanistan? How could these cavemen who made tortillas cook their food on fires? How could they even threaten a nuclear country, a country that big? I don't know. I don't get into politics. Well, that was the problem with Moldova, that they put troops there, and Moldova? Yes. I don't know. Did our troops go into Moldova? Yes. Have you heard about Transnistria? No, I haven't. They took away a piece like our Donetsk-Lugansk region where there was industry. Nobody took Donetsk, Luhansk away from you guys, right? They wanted to join, the people themselves. There were elections there as far as I heard. Interesting. When I was in Donetsk, the locals said they voted themselves. Themselves they voted. Under machine guns? No one said they were under machine guns. Well, if Russian troops are there, that's... it's not Ukrainian troops, is it? This is not a peaceful election. We're under machine guns. I'll tell you with a machine gun, write in Zelensky, and you'll write in your vote Zelensky. Well, that like the locals were saying that the locals left Donetsk, you know? I have relatives from Donetsk, from Lugansk. How many are left? Left who? The people there. Good. What is it in Russian called people who... Imagine the Chinese come. Let's start with the Chinese. Let's just start with them. The Chinese come to Baikal now and say, we want to liberate the Chinese-speaking population. There are Chinese in Baikal, aren't there? The whole Trans-Baikal region, we had a lot of Chinese there yesterday. Is it a secret for you too? Xi Jinping comes to you and says, I want to free the Chinese. Everyone here speaks Chinese. Ours, who came to work, I'll free them. Will the Russians stay under China? Or will they run away? What will they do? That's for the politicians to decide. I don't know. I'm not a politician. How can I answer that question? I don't sit in the presidency. I'm not the one sitting. And imagine he goes and does a referendum not allowing Russia in. Not allowing Russia in. The Chinese troops standing there and they're saying, join. Well, I gave my opinion as I talked to people, as people said that they all voted for themselves. I wish you could see the Donetsk people who left their homes in Avdiivka, Bakhmut, from Donetsk. How many? I had neighbors from Donetsk. Musicians. Not this scum that. They also told how before Russia entered Donetsk and Luhansk, how many of them were bombed there. And who bombed them? So tell me, which houses in Donetsk were bombed? Specifically, name the street and the house. I want to know. I don't know about that. I'm telling you what I heard. You heard, but you didn't see. No, I didn't see. Is it okay that nobody bombed Donetsk all this time? It was all to get you there to occupy those territories. Your fighters have arrived. Already many Russian officers have fled to Europe and are testifying in The Hague. And what, did they bomb themselves? They didn't bomb themselves, but these Cossacks arrived, yesterday's homeless people, convicts who were also recruited. There was a participant of the Russian-Chechen War. He knew nothing else but drinking and fighting. Problem. He hit someone somewhere and went to jail. Then 2014 starts and they start forming groups with them, Motorola and others. And then essentially what they're doing is they're sending them to the Lugansk Donetsk Republic. Your GRU colonel found this Vladimir Seshkin. He gave all the testimony, not only him, about how all this was formed. And then they started putting installations on Donetsk houses, shelling the region around, thus creating a kind of a conflict that this is a Ukrainian bombing. Why would Ukrainians do that? I have a relative, friend, acquaintance in every house there. Why would I shoot? For me personally, these are people close to me. For you who came from Russia and started shooting, these are people alien. I won't believe that your heart ached for them. So it's illogical, to say the least. Our homes that we built by ourselves, are being bombed. It's just illogical. Next, if the Tomsk Oblast wants to secede to China, for example, Tyumen Oblast, yes, Tyumen Oblast, what will happen to this region? What will happen? First of all, the Chinese will hold a referendum, and that's it. And Russia will say, of course you voted. That's for the presidents to decide, not us. No way. Don't play dumb. This is what's gonna happen. Well, what can I do? What can I do? Do you know that it will be destroyed just like they're destroying the Belgorod region with your own missiles? Why are they bombing the Belgorod region now? The Belgorod region? Yes. And who's bombing it? Ours? Well, KAB. We don't have KABs. We have nothing. We don't have an army. What can we bomb you with? Everyone has an army. Every country has an army. The RDK, Russian Volunteer Corps, is fighting there, made up of Russians who are against the Putin regime. Not against Russians, against the Putin regime. And here they are in Belgorodskaya Oblast fighting the Russian. I'm curious, everybody says Putin, 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 but if you put another president, will anything change? Well, I think nothing will change. That's my opinion. Why? Because there's something in your head here, isn't there? Do you like to fight or do you like to look in other... No, I don't. It's not that. Nobody wants a war. What's going to change? Nothing's going to change. The president will change. That's all. And everything then will stay the same way it is. So they wanted to fight somewhere abroad anyway. I think nobody wants to go to war. Okay, well, Putin declared war, didn't he? Not your dad, not your mom, not your brother. Putin declared war, didn't he? And you supported him. He go to war himself? Putin announced it, yes, but he's not the only one making these decisions. Have you seen it? Have you even watched your own TV? Your own TV? You could see how they were making decisions, that their voices were trembling because everyone realized that it would be the Third World War. I'd show you, but I realize it's useless. Alright. Tell me, how were you captured? How long you fought, and how many killed? I fought for a day and a half. Which direction? Avdiivka. You mean you killed my friend? No. Look me in the eye. No. Big, healthy, handsome, real, rich. No. I didn't have time to kill anyone. I wasn't gonna kill anyone. What do you mean you weren't gonna kill anybody? I hid from the drone. The drone flew in, so I ended up here. It's like that. What if the drone hadn't gone down? Well, if it hadn't, you probably would have kept walking or gone back. Did you have a knife on you? The knife, there was a bayonet knife. Why did they give you bayonet knives? As a weapon to go with it. What's it for? Are you going to fight in hand-to-hand combat or what? Or are you going to cut off heads? I don't know. It's the first time I've ever held a gun. Here's the Second Army of the world, and everybody held a gun for the first time, and all the cooks, all the drivers, and all this. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. Who took you prisoner? Under what circumstances were you wounded? Well, the blast wave broke my ribs, and I got shrapnel in my arm, and shrapnel along my leg. Hello, Sky in the Clouds. Remember the songs? I do. Shit in your boots. Did it work or didn't it not work? It did. I see. What's next? That's it. Next, it turns out I was taken prisoner. Brought to Kharkov region to the pre-trial detention center. From the pre-trial detention center, from Kharkov, they sent me to Kyiv, to the pre-trial detention center, and after the Kyiv pre-trial detention center, they sent me to the camp. Did you get beaten up there at intake? No. Why? I don't know. Did they threaten to castrate you here or something? No, nothing like that. Did Stepan Bandera come to see you? Huh? Did Stepan Bandera come to see you? Who is that? You know, the father of all Bandera men, the leader. Who? Bandera, Stepan Bandera. Who is that? The leader of the Banderites. I don't know. You know, the one who crucified those boys in Donetsk in little panties. I haven't seen him. I just haven't seen him. In Odessa on May 2nd, remember? He set people on fire? On fire. I didn't see him do that. Throwing fire like that. No. No, I didn't see. He'll be here next week and you can meet him. Do you know who that is? Don't peek, I know you can. Do you know who that is? Who is that? I know. When I was young. It's... honestly, I don't know. Now you're president? No. That's not Putin? No, it's not. Doesn't look like what? Oh, yes. He's a Tuvan or something. Putin who? A Tuvan or a Turkmenian? What's his nationality? What is nationality? This is Putin. And what's his nationality? Russian. Is he Russian? A Tuvan says he's Tuvan. Russian. Or is he Bashkir? He's just looking away, Russian. What do you mean, looking away? Why does he have such a face? It's been years, man. Well, Russian. Why is he so wrinkled? Do you know who that is? Do you know who it is? No. I see. They took you prisoner. Were you or were you not beaten here? Any wishes? I wish to be exchanged quickly to see my family. Will you go to war afterwards? Sorry? Will you go back here to fight if we bring you back? I hope not. So you're not sure you won't come back? Sorry? So you're not sure you won't come back? Yeah. Well, yes, I'm sure I won't. And the state? That's up to the state, not me. What if they force you into a hunt and threaten you with rape like with convicts? What are you gonna do? Here? Well, they'll bring you back and then they'll say, you signed a contract. They kept you here, tortured you. Don't you want to avenge your country? You surrendered in disgrace, like in Stalin's time. It's an enemy of the people. I don't think that's gonna happen here. Then they'll put you into a hut to molest you or to mock you, like over the prisoners of war of Ukrainians.